Okay, good afternoon. Hope everyone is well. Okay, Monday. So I'm not sure what everybody else has done. I've rolled over. I've just spoken to a few others in one of the Discords, and they've rolled over as well. There's a little bit more volume on the rollover. So I'm on to March's contract. So March 2006 contract. If anyone does want to roll over, if you wonder why my chart looks a little bit different. So, Beach Bum, how you doing, buddy? So, I am also looking at the CL chart as well. Just chat with a few others. I know Marco trades it. I know Vladdy trades it as well. So I'm just not seeing many trades at the moment. So it's either look at this or so I'm keeping on this. Now, if I do take a trade, I'll pull it in so you can see it. But I was chatting with Vlad yesterday. He takes probably one trade a day. He probably takes 3 on the CL chart and 2 on the ES. So if he's only finding 2 setups on the ES, I kind of agree with that. I took 1 trade all last week. I ended up getting out for 2 points. It's just a quick, I got out of a specific place, but it's quiet at the moment for setups. So we'll see how we get on anyway. But I think it's a case of if I'm not finding any on this, then I might have to sort of, have a second chart. I have traded the CL chart in the past, a little bit here or there. I don't know why I didn't carry on. I don't know. But if you're getting a trade a day on the ES, it's not such a problem. But if you're not getting trades on the ES, so we got a channel up here with a break, 2 pushes to a new high. So see what we get here. So we've got orders down here at 20. Not a huge amount, but there are orders down there. So there's going to be liquidity down there. So if we get a second entry long here, we may trap a few traders, thinking that maybe there's a bigger channel going on. I did look at a larger channel that I looked at there. So you may get traders going along there to test the top, but I don't think that's valid. So we'll see. So 2 legs down. If we get a bullish bar here, we may trap a few traders here. We'll see. But I know there's liquidity down there at 20. Okay. Second entry long bull bar, and it's pushed up. I didn't expect that, actually. See if this comes down bearish now. Trouble is, if that closes below the EMA, it's going to be a fair old size. So second entry long failure. How do I feel about that? I don't think it's a bad trade, actually. It's tempting. It is a failure. There's going to be liquidity down there. It's a little bit congested, I think. Now, I can see buyers at 22.50, which is there. So I don't know whether this is going to go down and bounce. Why isn't this showing it? 22.50. See if it works. It is a failure. It's just a little bit flat on that EMA. So my concern was that it's these buyers and pushes up. But it is working, and it would have worked. So perhaps I should have just trusted my instinct there. Little Hammer, how you doing, bud? So that would have worked. So maybe I should have just took it. So I go for 3. Yeah, comfortably would have worked. Okay, so second entry long failure worked nice, actually. I ummed and ahed about it. The bar was a little big. It was a touch congested. So, hey, Russell. Just wonder if anybody else saw that. That bar was a little bit weak for me. The fact that it pushed up made the point scalp easily and then came back. That kind of confused me a bit, but look, it's working nice anyway. But there we go. You snooze, you lose. It's going down nice as well. That's a shame. Now, I can see there's liquidity there for sure, but that bar just a little bit slightly negative. If it had triggered straight away and come down, then I think I'd have been more interested in that. So, I mean, it's come down 10 points basically from the tick, but there we go. So, channel break, new high, second entry long failure. It just wasn't the best looking second entry long for me. So, I just wasn't. I'd have preferred it a bit bigger. Trouble is, if you take a short there, you've only got a couple of ticks to there. You don't know whether it's going to back up and test this line. But there you go. Let's leave that at the moment, I think. I was so close to taking that. If the bar had been a little bit smaller, I may have had a go at it, and I'd have preferred that a little bit more bullish. So a tick above, tick below. It's well, it's probably 4.5 points if I go a tick below. 4.5 point risk. Laufey, how you doing? But that's a little more than I wanted. If that would have come down, the stem down here, and been a bit stronger, and it would have closed, I would have taken it. But we only had a couple of ticks to stop that out. So I was just wondering whether we would bounce kind of this area and then push up. But there you go. I think I did, mate. I'll reload it again for you. Ah, right. Okay. Have you rolled over, bud? Have you? I've rolled over to the 3rd March contract, 2006 contract. So that's probably why yours might look different. So there is slightly more volume. I've looked at the data. There's slightly more volume on this. So let me have a look. So 2250. There's some orders there. Short 20 and 21. There's some orders there. So if we can get 2 legs up, we may still get something down. I'm going to put that there just out of curiosity. It's clearly looking like a reversal for me. We've got a break. I can't see that pushing up any higher. But I can see orders between 20 and 25, actually. So that area. Let's see how I react here. Let's get rid of that a minute. I did. Now I'm looking at the CL chart. I did consider a possible trade here, but if this is valid, we've come off the bottom of the channel. We're struggling a bit here, so I like the 2 legs back. I thought the trade would have looked okay if the bar had been bearish, but I left it because I'm not sure whether it's coming away from the bottom. So I'm trading this as well. I'm just not seeing enough trades on the ES at the moment, so it's kind of a backup. So got a little micro up there. Strong move down. Nothing you can do there. Absolutely got a little micro crossed over. Woof, straight down. What's that? It's the best part of about 8 points, isn't it? Straight down. It was okay, mate. It was okay. uh, it was okay. I think it's taken him a bit of time because he's not very tech savvy. I don't think he doesn't dabble with social media at all, and I don't think he spent much time on a Discord. I mean, I find Discord confusing enough, and I've been using them for a while, but I think it's just taking time setting things up. Uh, uh, so yeah. So channel down with a break. So we got 2 legs down. Is there any type of possible larger channel? There may be. Uh, to be honest with you, a channel there, the only thing in my opinion that makes that turn over and drop is because maybe there is, because we got a little micro with a break. We've made a matching high and it's just dropped like a stone. So my guess is this thing is reversing anyway. So probably get away with saying that's a channel, but we'll see. See if we can get 2 legs up here. So let me just clear out some of these. So I can see there are some sell orders, a larger amount of sellers, not a huge amount at 25. That's a bit high for me. If we're going to get a break, I'd expect them somewhere around about here. But in fact, there are orders coming in around 17 and a half, which is probably around about right. Not a huge amount. There are some. See, I mean, although that looks red on Bookmap, it's saying it's 77 contracts. There's 50 contracts here, but there's a few in a row. So I'd say this has probably got more chance of hitting here and dropping. So I would say anywhere between kind of this area for a pullback or a couple of legs. Whether we get it or not, who knows? He's okay, Vladdy, actually. He came over a little rough, I think, but he's settling down a bit. I just think it's the way he is. But he's okay, actually. He's calmed down a little bit. But he's okay. He's all right. I know he did apologize for what he called his potty mouth anyway, so I think but no, he seems okay. He seems okay. In fact, he's stuck in a bit of uh, a kind of a rut with trading prop firms because he lives in Bulgaria. For some reason, Bulgaria is off limits to loads of prop firms. So the only prop firm he's able to use is Bullinox. God knows why. I mean, they're part of the European Union. They're just about to move over to the euro as well. So I just don't get it. You tend to think maybe, kind of rougher countries, more kind of war-torn countries or more corrupt countries. There is a second entry short there. Something about this I don't like. It is off that key entry point, but I don't think it's going to trigger, to be honest with you. I'm certainly leaving it alone just at the moment. We've got a bit of a wick. And not only that, I can see orders in this gap here, so it may trigger it and push it up. It may work, but it's not for me. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating for him. I took the lower high, got some runner copy trade. Good start to my Monday. Anything else going on? Have to be yeah. There's nothing. How you doing, buddy? You've heard me say this before. There's nothing worse. I hate making money and giving it back. I'd rather have a straightforward loss. They hurt less than winning a trade and then losing it. So, to be honest with you, I don't see a trade every day on the ES anyway. So if I do take one on the ES, I'm kind of more than happy. There's probably one or two going to take this. I'm not a massive fan. What I will say is there is a big bull bar there which is triggered, so it's got that going for it. But I can see orders around here, so I was just a little bit skeptical about that. Okay, so you could tell there were a few buyers there. There was a bull bar and a higher low, so 2 legs down. There's probably going to be maybe 1 or 2 thinking this is going to push up, but this is on its way down for me. Yeah. Kurt, look on my. I've rolled over, mate, to the March contract, March 26. I know Dan's popped some data on there for the CME, and there's more volume going through the March contract. So that's why probably yours looks a bit different. So if you want yours the same as mine, just change it to the 3rd, just put 26, and you'll get the same as mine. So it is coming down this. I didn't like that bar, for instance, and there was I could see there was orders in this gap here, so they weren't super strong, and it did work. If that had been a little bit more bearish, I may have had a go at it. Okay, so that looked way better. So there's Marco's. So there you go. I said if that looked bit bearish, look how good it looked on Marco's. Is Marco on the same contract as me? Yeah, it looked much nicer on his. That's for certain. Didn't look any better on mine, really. It was a bit too low on mine. Yeah, he is. His look much better than mine. Just goes to show how things can look a bit different. Just you don't have to find it, mate. Just type it in. Just change it to O3. You can go in there. Just click it. You can see it. I can change it now, so you won't see it unless I think if you open up when you open up Ninja, I think it offers you if you want it, or you can have it set like that. So just type it in, but just select it and then type it in and change it in, and you'll get. There's a little bit more volume on here anyway. You'll see it. It'll be the same as mine then. I kind of wait to Daryl. How you doing, buddy? Sorry, mate, I didn't see you. Jay, how you doing? Was it his second chart? He's got a better second chart than I am, the bugger. Doesn't look terrible, mine, but there's not much. There's not much room left to the low. Certainly not enough for me. It's not far, actually. It's 2.25 points, not quite enough. Just can you see where it's look on my chart? Can you see where it says ESO3? Just select it, clicking it once and clicking it again where the 3. See if I go left, I can delete the 3. I put it back in, so you can actually type it in yourself, and then it'll open up. Or your data rule. So 12.5. There are shorts at 12.5, which you'd expect right around there. There are buyers at 900, which is down here, which is great. So if we can get a second entry short up here, there's plenty of room down. There are some around about 4. There's buyers around about 4. That's fine. Below price. So both of these are below price. So if we can get a couple of legs up and get a short here, there's plenty of space, to where those buyers are and down there. So it is going a bit sideways here. So we may get a little pop out the top. So let's see how lucky we are. Offer it up, did it? Yeah, sometimes it does. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends how you got your settings, I think. I tend to ignore it. I just block it, and I tend to find out when the majority. So I'll find out, if people like Dan and Marco and Nick and all that are using the up-to-date contract, then I'll tend to go with it. But Dan did post something from the CME showing there is a little bit more volume, so I suppose it makes sense. Come on. Okay, so small break, tiny break, and a new low. So straight to those orders there, those buyers. Let's see if we get a bit of a pullback. Now, is that a break? Is that a good enough break? It's not a massive break, is it? It may look different on my other chart. Okay. I think that's negligible for a break. It's not often you see a break that small and push down straight away to a new low. So I'd say that's probably not a break. It's not convincing enough. If I look on this chart, if I put that like that, tight to the bars there and lift that a bit, popping out a little bit there, but I'm not too concerned. So for me, I don't think that's a break. It's not significant enough. Goes took another one. I got nothing. Trouble is, I had that. I didn't have that adjusted. I didn't like the bar on here, and I was looking for this as a possible break, but he's taking a second one there. See, he's got more wicks here. His looks better than mine. I don't know what he's doing. He's definitely getting special treatment from somewhere. But that's clearly worked for him. So he's had 2 trades quickly. That one I think was okay, but on mine it was crap. Well, it wasn't crap, but it just wasn't good enough. But he's done well there. It's a bit congested here for me, and it's not convincing enough. And with this possible little break, I had to kind of readjust my thought process just for a minute, and that kept me out of it. But good on him. That's what you want. Can't matter. I took 2 trades in a row about 3 weeks ago. That's the first 2 trades in a row I've taken in short succession for a long while. So there are orders down here now. 05. Okay, so Marco hasn't got it as a break either on his chart. My second chart, it's not a break, so I'm bringing this up. That's all right. I'm all right with that, which means we're still possibly in play. This thing doesn't seem to want to give us much, so it's just dropping already. My only slight concern here is if this is the bottom of the channel, we're not getting down the bottom. So is this now starting to look like a possible break? I can see shorts at 05 and some around the 07-ish. In fact, they're all quite even there, that area, so probably won't push up much. 05 are the strongest ones. I don't know whether I want a short here. So 95 we can see. Marco's chart, mate, is on Dan's Discord. That one there. Where is it here? So he's done right there. That one, it certainly looked much better than my chart. That one looked nice. I didn't quite have that one. It closed, just below the midline, the middle of the bar. So for me, I just had to kind of leave it alone. But he's done all right there. He's done. That was on his second chart as well. I got to say, I think I take more trades on my second chart. Sometimes I wonder whether to just switch over that second chart permanently, save me having a second chart in here. Then I can bring this CL in here. Yeah, I mean, that bull bar I preferred. If that had been more bearish, just a little bit more bearish, I'd have had a go at that. It's nice that we've got a nice bull bar trapped. Bull bar off the bottom, 2 legs down. There's bound to be some traders going long there. That would have been done. The thing is, you just never know, bud. It's okay holding on sometimes, but my experience is when you do nothing and you take your profit, price just carries on. The second you decide to go for a bit more profit and move your profit down there, that's when things come back at you. Having said that, if it was an eval, that wouldn't worry me so much. I wouldn't mind holding on so much with an eval. So you can see there's some buy orders down there at 95, right where that is. So I think that's likely going to hit this, but it's clearly a downtrend. Obviously a reversal here. Not the best looking reversal pattern. It's a bit vague, isn't it? But it is a second entry long which triggered and then became a failure. But this looked a bit weak to me, so I just left that alone. But there you go. Yes, mate. Reason being, if you remember back, I've used it before once or twice, and Vlad uses it. He takes more trades on this. He only takes a trade a day. He trades more trades on this than on the ES. And I know Marco's traded it. I know Marco messaged me about it maybe 7 or 8 months ago, and I looked at it for a while. But the trouble is, I took one trade last week, so if I can't find close to a trade a day, or even 3 trades a week, I don't mind. Then I'm going to have to kind of add another chart and see what I can. If I take a trade on it though, bud, I will drag it in. But it's set on the. If anyone's interested, just keep in mind the CL rolls over monthly. So if you did want to look at this, this is the 01 contract, January 26's contract. And he trades it. Marco does as well, the 500 tick chart. And I've got mine set to 10 tick profit and just a 12 tick stop loss. Just obviously, just so I can adjust that, obviously. 10 ticks. So one contract, each tick is worth about $10 on one contract. So that would be $100 profit there for a trade there. I considered maybe going for 2 contracts there, but I'm just going to play around with this first and just keep it cheap and not risk a lot and just get used to it again. But he did say, I had a quick chat with him last night. He did say it's much more stable, whereas the ATR on here can really fluctuate. On there, it doesn't so much. So yeah. So as I say, I have traded it before, but quite a while back, and not a huge amount. But unfortunately, if I'm not getting trades on here, I can't kind of just sit here all day and take nothing. So I've got to try and add something to it. This thing isn't even. I mean, look, it hasn't touched the EMA since there. Thing's just dropping, isn't it? Puna Trade, how you doing, buddy? Dan shorted at some point. I'm not sure what Dan's taken. Let me see if I can. No, he hasn't posted a chart that I can see yet. Good on you, mate. Good on you. I haven't seen a chart of Dan's yet this morning. I spoke to him about that one. I said, did you take that? He said it didn't set up like a failure. I agree with it. It was a little weak. It was just a bit weak around here. So, and not only that, we seem to be bouncing on top of there. So for me, it was just a little bit iffy. So I left it alone. Took 2 of the failed second entry longs at the top of the downtrend. Yeah. I mean, I was very close to taking that. It didn't look spectacular, but it was nonetheless. But I think it's fair to say, from a setup, how the market moves down like that is a good indication of how many other traders got in at that point. And you can see we had 2 strong bars down, 4 or 5 points each. So that tells me that certainly a bunch of other traders, or a lot of other traders, were interested in the same move down. So it was okay. I left it because I don't know that bull bar. See, what I think as well is there likely to be buyers there? And I think it just looked a little bit sideways and a bit weak for me, but it worked nonetheless, and it worked nice and strong anyway. Each one, I mean, the move down for that first. So let's talk about that. So we had 2 bars, 8 points. So basically 4 points each straight down. So you'd have got your money quick there. And I think, as I say, I think that's a good indication of how well the setup performed. And it obviously clearly did well there. So, yeah. So what did you take? One here as well. There's just something here. That one there on my chart. Marco took that one. It didn't look great on my chart. But his is slightly different. The trouble is, our charts and our bars can differ slightly. It's just, sometimes one of us gets a great setup and another one, a few of the others don't. So it's just one of them things, isn't it? So clearly testing the overnight lows, no argument there. You can see there's a bunch of buyers down there, 120 contracts, 6880, which is, if you want to kind of buy, you're going to be buying at the bottom, aren't you? So that doesn't surprise me. Now we've got this move down, and that to me looks about as close to a measured leg as you can get. So I'll be surprised if that is the measured leg or bar. It's close. It's a little bit above a measured leg. So we've got this big move down there, two clear legs up. And I wouldn't be surprised. I'd expect a pullback here somewhere, but I wouldn't be surprised if we actually continue down and may possibly clear clear Friday's lows. But I'd expect a pullback shortly because we're getting close. That's a fair move down there. So if anybody did get there, then they took a fair amount of profit there. So I'd expect a little bit of a pullback. So I'm looking for shorts up here. So there are some at 95, which is there. And a little bit higher, I think. There's some in this area. So that is unfortunately just I'd need a second leg up there or something. So we got a little micro channel there. Now, I still think it's not going to come all this way and not have a better attempt at that to clear these lows. So how high could we go? So 50% is up here. So a few ticks off this area there. So we could get a leg and a leg. It's hard to say. So nothing you can do with that really. It's within that little micro up. So I wouldn't touch that. It's triggered, and I'm pretty sure it'll get stopped out. There are buyers above here, so there are some at 900 and a little bit above. So I think that bar is likely going to get stopped. Let's see. It's quite bearish. You never know. Sometimes with all the will in the world, it kind of jumps ship and does a different ending. Bull bar gave you the shivers, but the context, yeah. I mean, it's coming down strong, isn't it? I mean, from here, this is the first time we've got back to the EMA, so that is just, it's coming down, it's going sideways. As soon as it touches that, as soon as it touches the underside of this channel, it's just dropping, isn't it? And along here, we couldn't get anywhere near it. So it's a nice fit, that one. We haven't got to the bottom. We're clearly about 5-6 points off the lows of the day. So I'd still expect it to come down, but I won't want to get in too premature. So if you took that bear buy, you may have been okay. But for me, it's gonna break above there most of the time. So you'd have got 2.5 points out of that, depending on where you go for. But for me, it's kind of in this channel. And as we can see, there are buyers up there. You can see there's buyers about the 900. So for me, I wouldn't even take this one either if it was bearish, because it's clearly congested now. So we may get a leg and a leg. So let's just see where a two legs would take us. That would take us to about 05, 06. So I'm just going to put something there just out of interest, just to see if it does get that high. So I can clearly see there are orders there. That's where a measured move would get to. Trouble is, sometimes if it's just bearish enough, it'll just drop. Unfortunately, I can't get into that trade. We've had a break. We haven't made a new high yet. So I just can't get in here, regardless of what I'm seeing. Yes, it's just one of those things. I mean, what it actually does is completely irrelevant. It's what it looks like it might do. You've got to kind of make your decisions on. That one didn't get stopped out in the end, but it is quite bearish. I mean, we barely touched that EMA, and we didn't touch it again till the break. But as I say, you know, the bigger this channel down. These are based on my experiences. The bigger this channel down, the bigger the break we get, which is why I kind of expect, you know, possibly something like that. Depends for a second leg. But it depends. I mean, if prices are here and sellers like this area, they think it's going to head south, and they'll just jump in regardless. Uh, but for me, if I go right from the bottom of both of these bars here, this is still within this channel, so it's not enough of a break really for me uh to consider maybe short in there. It's so wrong really. Uh, but you know, it kind of sometimes it'll just work. Uh, but most of the time, neither of these will work because it's congested up across and up. Uh, it's one of those things. So Marco took that one again. Thomas Wade took it. I didn't like it. Did Dan take it? I'm guessing Dan probably wouldn't have done. Said he thought it was okay. That's usually a no. No, taken nothing as yet. Nothing been good enough, I don't think. I mean, even if I wouldn't have had these orders, the context is not right for me. I wouldn't have taken it anyway. How many people are in his class? I don't, mate. Not a huge amount, I don't think. Not take perfect second entry short. Trying to be kept in. Cautious, good on you, mate. Well, you're up anyway for the day, aren't you? So it's where you want to stay, ideally. It looked crap on here as well, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have taken that. There wasn't a lower high there anyway. Ben, how you doing, mate? Taking it easy today. I mean, having tonsillitis here early. There's a big flu epidemic in the UK at the moment. I mean, I got asthma. It's not terrible asthma, but I have a flu jab. So hopefully, if I think you can still get it if you've had the flu jab, but it's obviously a lot less. But it's rife in the UK at the moment. I know someone who's a nurse at hospital, and they said I think there's something like 7 times the amount of people in hospital uh, than there normally would be at this time of year, just with flu. So, uh, 30 trays not. Yeah, your New Year's resolution, bud, is cutting them trades down. And one of the best ways to do it, see if you're getting that urge to do it, it's hard to fight that urge. I'll be honest with you. Uh, but if you're taking 30 trades a day, it's never going to work. You may get a day where you seem to be up or something. Uh, your New Year's resolution, get yourself that guardian angel trader, mate, and that way you can make your decisions in the cold light of day. Uh, and at least that way, when if the emotions kick in, at least that way you're forced to stay out. So maybe limit yourself to 2-3 trades a day or something like that. Uh, and then kind of at least then you're forced out. Then you can always maybe do an evaluation or a sim or something like that. Uh, where are you from, bud? Where are you from, Poon Trader? What are you from? I think also here both my sons have been home for a week. I'm assuming you're US, aren't you? I think most of you guys are. Uh, Tonsillitis. I've been lucky. I've never had much of that, to be honest with you. Are you okay? Sweden, gotcha. So obviously you've got the cold weather as well, haven't you? So probably a good place to be at home indoors. Argentina here. So Argentina, okay. So have you got warm weather in Argentina? Argentina, you kind of associate Argentina walking around sweating all day long. So I'm guessing it's what is it in the UK? It's quite mild in the UK. I think it was about 11 degrees centigrade earlier on. Uh, I took my daughter's boyfriend to college this morning, so we went out. It was quite mild actually, 11 degrees centigrade. It's quite mild at the moment. Uh, so overnight, we've literally tell a lie, we haven't. We've That's where those orders are, which are gone now. There are orders at 90. Sorry. Uh, where was that? It was about there, wasn't it? Uh, sellers at 90, just in case this thing does come back. Uh, and down at 870, right down low. Whether it'll get down that far or not, I don't know. But as I say, with this big move down, very small break and 2 pushes to a new low. My gut feeling is we have a maybe a decent pullback or a correction here and possibly go lower. We're not far off the overnight highs, and we're also only about 10, 12 points from Friday's lows. So where are we? 15, 15, yeah, 15 points ish. You're 30 degrees Celsius. Wow, that's nice. That's like a real hot summer's day for us. I think what have we got to? 42, I think, is the highest the UK's ever got. I mean, that was something special, that was. Uh, but yeah, 30 degrees. We have some 30 degrees days in the UK, but not a huge amount of them. But that's warm, yeah. Mind you, I'd rather be in the warmth than the cold. So I'm looking at this CL chart. I was looking for a possible short there. The bars weren't great. The context was concerning me that it was coming away from the bottom. There was technically a second entry short there, but it's stacking up a bit sideways here. So not really much I can do here. Done for the day. Maybe check in later. Good on you, mate. just looking at the dates for Christmas. So it's the Christmas week, a week today. So I may come in on Monday, uh, Monday or Tuesday, 22nd. I may do 22nd. We'll see. Well, I'll definitely the 22nd. We'll see what it's like. But then certainly 24th, I won't be here. Where are we? So 29th, 30th. I'll have to see what that's like. I got to say, I think it was a year before last. I had put 2 full weeks off, and I felt great coming back. So I'm tempted to have a good 10 days off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 days off, then come back on the 2nd. So I'll definitely be a week today anyway. So if I take the 23rd, 23, 45, 67, 28, 29, 30, 31, first, that's 10 days off. That's enough. Enough of a break, I think. Okay, I can't really take a short here, to be honest with you, because this channel is already played out. We've had a break, clearly, and a new low and quite a strong move up. We've broken the overnight highs. We haven't been down here. As I say, there is a possibility this could come down a bit lower. 80, where's that? There was some strong sellers down there. I could see them at the bottom, but they've just been yanked. So have to see what happens here. As I say, it has played out. So Friday's lows. Friday's lows are there, so bar above the EMA. See, I kind of, now we've had a break of that, I give this a little bit of time to kind of figure out what it wants to do. It could do a bunch of stuff. Could end up doing something like that for a while before it makes up its mind. It may completely reverse here, or it may come down and tackle Friday's lows. But it just strikes me as we do seem to be maybe finding some kind of a bit of resistance there. So there's always a possibility that we range a bit. I'm not saying we will, but that, when we had that break, new low and a push up, that came down awfully quick. So there's a mixture of sellers up here. It's around about 84, 85, around about here. And some buyers around about 76-ish here. So top and bottom. So it may do a little bit of this. Time price moves opposite to what I thought I would do. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to make the right decisions in the market. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people trading this, some very clever people trading this, and obviously all the algorithms, rhythms, and whatever else is involved. So it's hard to make the right decision. So those orders that were yanked, there are a few here. So that may be one push to a new low, second push to a new low. It's hard to say. Or there could be possibly some kind of a slightly different channel. Hard to say. But as I say, if you go long here, I mean, if you'd have triggered that long, you've got to give this a little bit of time when you've. I'm speaking from a pat setup, because you just never know. So those orders down there, there's some down here at 65. Where was these? Oh, I've moved that. That was 65. Looks to me where, yeah, near enough where Friday's lows are. So it's a tick under, but that's okay. You can see those orders down there. So my guess is it's such a big move down there. I'll be surprised if it doesn't clear out some of this liquidity. Uh, and as I say, if you're looking up on that from kind of a move as such, we've got a leg down there and a leg here with a nice clear correction. There and there. So leg down, correction. Obviously on a maybe a hourly chart, it might look a little bit clearer, but clear leg down with a correction. Possibility of another leg down. For me, certainly looks like it's going to clear Friday's lows. So we'll see. Why can I not move that back much? 5 days. That's not enough. Low. There we go. Yeah, it's more really just kind of shopping around, isn't it? Yeah, so possible triple test on the CL chart, but just not a massive fan of it. 1, 2, 3. It's a little bit choppy, and if this is a channel, it's coming away, so it could end up triggering it and going like this. So nothing happening here for me. So 60, we've got strong orders a lot below that. It's 250 contracts, just under 60. So let's call it about there. So I think there's a good chance it's going to come down lower, clear Friday's lows. 65 as well. So, and there are shorts around the 73.5. So that's no, I couldn't take a short if I wanted to. 75 is a high of it. A little bit above 75. Two little legs here. No. Channel break. 1, 2 pushes to a new low. I'm just leaving everything here at the moment. It's not sure what it's going to do. Oh, excuse me. Okay, that's broken. Friday's lows by a tick or two, certainly by a tick. So that's kind of what I thought may happen. How low we're going to get here? there could be the start of another channel here. I don't want to assume there is because we've had 2 legs down after the break. If you consider that a leg and a leg. So almost to the tick, channel break, 2 pushes down. So you got to give this a bit of space. Now it may reverse, it may not. It may continue down. I know there's a chunk of orders down there. And there's some sellers at 75, in and around 75, a tick or 2 either side. Not a huge amount. By far the strongest of the buy orders. Those orders are creeping up around about 77.5-ish now. So this channel has played out very neatly. 2 clear legs down. Let's see now if this is reversing. Is that Samuel? Samuel. Thinking about getting Apex. How has payouts been? My honest opinion of Apex, no matter what people say, if you follow the rules, you get paid. I've never had a problem with them following the rules. Now, Apex had a bit of a rap and a bit of a bad name a while ago, and the simple reason that happened is because loads of traders were breaking the rules and Apex weren't policing them. And all of a sudden, Apex decided to say, now, if you've broken the rule, we won't pay you. You'll have to trade another 8 days. And it pissed a lot of people off. Now, they knew the rules. The rules were there. They were breaking the rules and getting away with it. And they'd have been better off saying from next month, you've got to follow the rules, blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, you don't get paid. But yeah, my honest opinion, I wouldn't be trading them. I've got 20 accounts of them and I wouldn't be trading 20 accounts if I didn't think I was going to get paid. Absolutely, definitely not. So I think some Apex rules actually make me a better trader. Do you know, and I'll say this, Daryl, the best thing Apex did was stop you taking $2,000 when you can get to 26. Because I've made more money since that rule changed, because you used to get to $2,600, take $2,000 out, you had effectively $500 left, and you'd blow the account 9 times out of 10. So I know what you think, Karina. But honest to God, if as long as you follow the rules, you're fine. If you break the rules, they'll just make you trade for another 8 days. So that's my thoughts. If you do use them, I've got a code there. So if you use it or you've ever used it, it is appreciated. ukft. It's a good offer at the moment. They've got 90% off. And the PA fee, if you pass, is $65. So it's okay. I think it's the cheapest they've ever had, to be honest with you. All in all. Things we know are better firms. Why do we need to risk? All right, absolutely. I've been trading 5 years now. I don't use my own money as yet. Next year, my plan is to start to build up my own pot of money. So what I'm probably going to do is take a percentage of what else I make, maybe 10, 20, maybe 20%, something like that, of what I make, and funnel that over into my own account and slowly trade that up. The trouble is with Apex, it used to be able to take $2,000, and I'm surprised they changed that, because of that did traders a favor, because at least when you take a payment now, you've still got to have $2,100, so it's still a decent amount for people to value. But when they only had $500 left, I did it myself. The temptation is just to take a punt and see if you can get the thing to push up. So that was the best thing they did, to be honest with you. Trade percentage make money with prop firms. Trouble is, with prop firms, 90% of us wouldn't be able to trade because we wouldn't have the money. Prop firms, I mean, for instance, if you take whoever it's with, if you take a $50,000 account, 50,000 is irrelevant really. What you really have to play with is $2,500. Now, if you put $2,500 of your own money into an account, what are you risking? You're risking $2,500. With a $50,000, for instance, Apex account at the moment, all in, it's around about $80. So you're risking, what's that? 1/5, 7% of that. So you're risking a huge amount less to make the same profits. So for me, prop firms are an absolute no-brainer. They're a what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? I mean, even I hear traders who've been trading their own money for years are using them, because it's a massive untapped market for a lot of people. Still costs money, so why pick one that's been proved to disappoint traders? See, the reason that happened, and I'll tell you now, the reason that happened is because they started policing the rules. Now, the rules were there. I know because I looked at them enough times where I was getting to know. So the rules were there. But a lot of this stemmed from Alpine Trader. He was doing this open range breakout and he wasn't using a stop, and he was prepared to lose the account. And he was making a stack of money. So it was basically a loophole. And it was loads of people were watching him doing it and started doing it. It says an Apex came out, they all of a sudden saw that there was massive amounts more profit going out. So they decided now that the rules are there, we're going to start adhering to them. And rather than to say to traders from next month, we are going to, you're going to have to follow the rules, they just kind of did it out the blue with a mass kind of, that's why you heard the videos, mass denial. But people were breaking the rules. So if it's irrelevant really whether you were getting away with it. If you've broken a rule, they're well within their right to pay you. So all they were guilty of really is bad timing. But it gave them a bad name. But I'm telling you now, they pay out, they pay out huge amounts of money. It's not all made up stuff. I mean, you look at the leaderboards of all the people that get paid. I know a bunch of them. I've been on there myself a few times. So, you know, and not only that, Apex are the only company where you can trade 20 accounts. So if you want to make some money, it's up to you at the end of the day anyway. So, but one of the reasons that makes them good is they're cheap, and a second reason is you can trade up to 20 accounts. So it's a it's a big it's one of them things anyway. I know people have their. The thing is, if I was waiting for a $20,000 payment and I'd broken the rules and all of a sudden they denied me, I don't doubt I'd be pissed off with it. But if you're breaking the rules, there's always that possibility it could backfire on you. And that's what happened. Apex would have been better off, and I think they realise this anyway. They'd have been better off saying people are breaking the rules, people are prepared. In the real world, you can't put $2,000 into an account and be prepared to lose it all in one trade. You can't do it. But because of the numbers, because it worked out that you were paying maybe 5% and having the same $2,000, the numbers worked in your favor to take risks. But, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Another thing that's making things difficult for prop firms is all these companies now coming up saying we'll trade your account for you. You have to have this continuous cycle of newer traders losing money. That money goes to more experienced traders that get paid. The bit left in the middle goes to the prop firm. And then as the newer traders become more experienced, they start to make money. So you've got this constant influx of newer traders losing money, and you've got the more experienced making money. And you have to have that kind of circular motion. But a lot of these companies coming out saying we'll trade your prop firm for you, that then is taking out a lot of the newer traders that lose the money. So there's not enough money in the pot to keep that kind of wheel going. And that's why Apex have started asking people to make videos of themselves so they can tell it's you and not some company. I was also told by someone who used to work for Apex, that's why they put the, you've got to have the what's it code, haven't you? What's it called? Authenticator. That apparently stops people because they were able to log into your account easy. It takes a little more time now to log into the account. So you have to have that constant influx. Otherwise, it's never going to work. Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating that they take a while. I mean, I think they take on average a couple of days. It's one of those things. It's not a major issue, as long as you get paid. I don't mind waiting a few extra days for a payment. What I do like is the ability to have 20 accounts with them. Makes it easy for me. Yeah, the reason things like Lucid and Tradeify work slightly different because there's a 20% consistency rule. So you're kind of forced to trade a certain way, and if you don't, it doesn't kind of work. So hopefully Apex are going to update things when it comes to quicker payments and stuff like that. But I think one of Apex's problems is they grew too big too quick. They grew massive overnight and they couldn't keep up. But all companies, but unfortunately, because of that big denial, instead of giving people notice, that's what gave them that bit of a bad name. But I think they realise, they could have handled it better. But companies, companies make mistakes. I mean, even people like Apple, one of the biggest companies in the world, have had, brought out a new phone where they've had chargers going on fine. They've had the massive recall and they've lost a ton of money. It kind of happens, but people don't forget. I was talking about this to Vlad a week ago. He said he got asked to make a video of him trading, and he said, "No, I ain't doing it," and cancel his trades. But if he had have done, he may have got his 10,000 payment. Uh, I think I know about 4 or 5 people that have been asked to make a video, and they've been paid. So the reason they're doing it is to stop people using these companies to trade for them. That will kill the industry if that's not stopped, because you need newer traders to lose money. I mean, they've all got sort of pros and cons. I mean, I used Traderfy. I like Traderfy. I thought they were good. I liked everything about Traderfy. The only slight negative part is if you want 5 accounts and you want straight to funded, it costs you about $1,500. And then they do the 90-10 split straight away. So, but there's a whole range of different types. It depends what you want, really, isn't it? But I know Vladdy that's doing this new Discord thing. He lives in Bulgaria, and for some reason they're on the blacklist. The only company he can trade with prop firm wise is Bolinox. I don't know why. I mean, Bulgaria are in the European Union. They're about to move over to the euro. So for the life of me, I can't understand why they're on the restricted list. Yeah, I think Traderfy and Lucid are very similar, but I believe Lucid, you can, they don't do the 90-10 split straight away. Yeah, Bullnox for me, I won't use because you can't trade them with other companies. So you can't trade one Bullnox with one take profit trader, for instance. They don't like you doing it. For the life of me, I don't know why. But I don't know. So we got the channel down here with a break, 2 pushes to a no, 2 legs up, or possibly a correction. As I say, I think there's a good chance we may continue down here. So we've had the leg down, and we've had the correction in the middle. So I think there's a reasonable chance, leg down correction, that we may come down some more. But that's just based on what I'm seeing, not necessarily anything else. But if you look here, there's orders at 60, there's orders at 70. So there's bigger orders down here. To me, look like they're sucking price down. So 2 legs up, bearish bar there. I can't do nothing there, to be honest with you. But so 70, orders at 70. There. Orders at about 73, which is there. These are all buyers here thinking of riding this thing up. And then 60 down there. And quite likely further down as well. So is this going up or is it coming down? It's hard to say at the moment. About 95. There are sellers at 95, which is there. How much of a measured leg have we made? So right to the tick. So, okay, perfect leg up, right to the tick. So for me, this needs to go down. So what I'm looking for now is a second entry long to trigger and a failure, because there's bound to be traders thinking this is going up. That looks like 2 legs to me as opposed to a channel. It may be there's a possibility, but it's hard to say. So, but I mean, if this is a move up to the top, we've had a leg with a break and a new high already. It's a little bit premature, all this, to push up, but who knows? So it's a possibility. I think the one good thing with all these prop firms coming out is the competition gets more, well, competitive, for want of a better word, and usually the traders benefit from it all. If you listen close enough to Vladdy, his story changes. One time he said he cancelled his account, and then the next time he said they cancelled his account. I don't know. So perhaps he's just saying he didn't bother with them. I don't quite know. And he was saying he can't even use prop firms in Bulgaria. He can't. I've checked. The only ones you can use are Apex and Bullinox. For some reason, I don't know why. But he trades Bullinox apparently. I don't know why he didn't produce a video. I just don't know, to be honest with you. Yeah, when he mentioned that yesterday, I was like, Bulgaria. But yeah, I looked. For some reason, well, the first place I looked was Traderify because I thought that, getting into Traderify, but for some reason you can't. I don't know why it's on the list. Uh, yeah, look, restricted countries. Bulgaria. You wouldn't expect. I mean, I understand maybe places like Israel and Pakistan and maybe North Korea and places like that, but that really surprised me. Uh, and Russia maybe, but I was surprised. I mean, what else is on here? Tunisia, Iceland as well. Why Iceland? Iceland's a makes sense, does it? Bahamas, why? But strange, yeah. Uh, I mean, there are a lot of countries here you can kind of understand why, but Bulgaria, strange. But no, you can't. Yes, I have, bud. I have. I wanted to join it for a month just to kind of see what it was about. So two legs up, and quite a strong bear bar. There's no trade there. There's nothing you can really do there. We're just chopping sideways and then it drops. But that's what I mean. If you look at this channel, we've already had a break and two new lows, so it's played out, but it doesn't mean we can't get a correction and then down for a second leg. So if I do that, and then that, and then I do this and this, are they going to kind of marry up together? They're not a million miles away. So I wouldn't be surprised if this does come down some more. Part of the reason is I can see bigger orders down below on Bookmap. So we need a little pullback here. But the trouble is, this is quite clear, so we just may not get nothing. Yeah, I mean, the way that's kind of working the same distance from the top, there's always the possibility that it does run like that. I have considered that. Or maybe if you go from there, in which case you'd expect a new low. I want a little second entry short here. So, yeah, I did try that a bit earlier. Uh, so, nice correction. I think it'd be, see, looking here, there's some sellers at 87.5, which is kind of where you'd want to be, really, isn't it? So, we'll see. I'd like to push just a little bit higher there. And for huge targets with bigger picture stuff always seems that, yeah. I just go for a flat 3 points at some point in the future. If we can get something that's super clear and a nice, strong, entry here with, the highly likely of getting the new lows. There's 22 points there. So the potential, I go for 3 points. I could make sort of like 7 trades in a row there. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be nice? I'm not going to do nothing here. I don't like this. It's a little bit congested here. I think that is a little bit weak. It may work, but we go down and a bit sideways. So my gut feeling is there are sellers right there. So my concern is it triggers that, pushes up, and then we get the 2 legs up there. But sometimes it doesn't. I can't take that. It's too far for a lower high, really. But unfortunately, sometimes it just drops whatever. I got nothing here either. But sometimes it is frustrating, really. Sometimes we just get a tiny little break. Yeah, see, Thomas Wade's doing that as a second entry. As a failed second entry long. I don't like it, really. Is it a double top? It's not, actually. So technically, that's it. Yeah, it's not a great one for me, to be honest with you. That. Uh, you took that one there, did you? Yeah, I'm just not sure what's going on here. It does look like 2 legs, but you never know when it's going to trigger some of these and just pop up. I'm hoping we push above there because we haven't made a new low there. I mean, after this with a correction, I think it's pretty reasonably obvious where it's likely to go. And in that case, a lot of traders may just jump in early rather than giving it that time to maybe pull back a bit more. And a lot of the times that's how it goes. We barely get a break and down we come, unfortunately. But what can you do? Guarantee that if I decide to jump in now, it'll push up and stop me out. So those days are gone. I just can't do anymore. I have to wait for uh, I have to kind of wait for we may get lucky yet. 85. There are sellers there. That's a bit low for me. Actually, they're a little bit higher. Let's call it a tick above there. So nice. If we get above here and then get a bearish bar, I'll be all over that like a rush. No news coming up over here. Let's get an order ready. So we're
Order submitted.
Come on. I really want it above there. We've made a matching low at the moment, so leg and a leg. If it breaks above there and then gives us a bearish bar, you can see those orders there. They're around about 87.5, which is there. That's perfect for me, that is. Once we break above there, 2 or 3 ticks and we'll hit this area. Come on. There we go. Keep going. They're getting stronger, those orders here, which is good. It's got to get above there for me, really, because if it doesn't and shorts here, it may It may get you in trouble. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, 6. They're coming down a bit there. It's just one of those things. It's very tempting that, but I'm staying out of that. It's 18 ticks now. It ain't finished yet. It's 18 ticks. Tick above, tick below, 20 ticks. I'm not taking that for 20 ticks. Especially with these orders up here. They're not a huge amount, but they're enough. It's 18 ticks. Not only that, 1, 2. If we can go up a second time break above here and get bearish, that'd be a triple test there. I just don't think it's going to, unfortunately. We can live in hope, can't we? We have made 2 attempts to push up, so I think it's going to come down, but there's just no room to the lows, unfortunately. If you're getting a tick below there, you've got a 1.5 at a push. In fact, less than that, really. If we go a tick below there, there's a 1.25 because it's got to push through. Now, it may rock it down, but it may not. It's also possibility of a little bit of sideways, but my honest opinion, it's probably going to go down, but I can't take it when I can. Those orders up here are fading rapidly, but it still hasn't pushed down strong enough for me. I mean, you could get it on a limit order, but I'm just sitting tight at the minute. You could jump in here on a limit order and have a very small risk, but I'm just sitting tight here. Guarantee there'll be traders trapped in there. I can see a couple are in there already. Tick below, how far has it gone? Barely a point. Yeah, a couple of people saying may get stopped. You may get lucky there, actually. I think that bar, the way it is, you may get away with that. But I know there are some shorts there, so it's trying, isn't it? Yeah, I can see a few traders in there. I think that's a better option. Same again, it's still 18 ticks in it.
Order cancelled.
On this chart, it's definitely looking a bit dangerous. I think it'd probably hold. There's stronger orders down below, but there are buy orders at around about 3.5, which is still way down here. So there's still plenty of room. But look, it's really trying, isn't it? I don't like any of this. I won't be surprised if that just rockets up. Look at these orders starting to come up around about the 6. I mean, if this pushes above there, that's going to trap one hell of a lot of trade, isn't it? And it's going to. There we go. Look, above there. It's bound to get above there. Let me get my order back. So there's going to
Order
be some
submitted.
upset traders there for a starters. Oh, good on him. Marco went long there. That's a shrewd move, that is. That's a smart move, that is, I think. He went long there and just took over all those trap traders. 1, 2, 3, triple test. Oh, I like this. A clever move. Marco's taken 3 trades today. Good on him. Now, do I like that? 25 ticks. I don't think so. Sitting out of this, I am.
Order cancelled.
So we've got channel, break. So he went long there. Good on him. I know there's a lot of people who went short there. 1, 2, locked in. Come on. Some got out early. I think what's it got stung there. Would he have got out there? Oh, he'd have been right there, I think. I think Thomas Wade took that. He considered it a failure. It's just on here. It looks even worse here. This for me is just dangerous. It wouldn't have worked for me. That one, if you got in there, it wouldn't have worked. I'd have got stopped out. That one definitely wouldn't have worked. So if you didn't take that one, second entry short, the failure, and then all of a sudden it took off. So it's just something about this I didn't like. I could see bigger orders up here. It's just one of them things, isn't it? But it did try multiple times to get lower, but that doesn't always mean it's not going to. I don't know. It's one of them things. Since you're interested in aviation videos, there's a creepy video now on YouTube from the Mentor Pilot. I like him. I watch him as well. He's that gingerhead guy, isn't he? I think he does better because there's also that air crash investigators. I actually think he does a better job than them, to be honest with you. I might have a go at that myself. I like him. Of course, we've got a couple of pilots in the stream. We've got one, well, two. What's it's not here? He doesn't trade much at the moment. Jan, but Kirk, commercial airline pilot. So yeah, we got a few in the stream. Now, what's going on here? Is this going to push up? I can't see it, to be honest with you. I still think we'd expect a new low from this. So my gut feeling is it's probably still going to come down. We've still got orders at 70 there. And just below 60 as well. What's that one? 72 something. It's about 73. There are some buyers here. And we've had a break. We have had a couple of attempts to go lower. That's kind of more of a penguin setup, that, isn't it, I think? Sellers there. Depends how you look at this, really. If you've got that there, technically, it's played out, but you've still got to be a bit careful. Just above 92.5, so let's call it about there, right at the top. So there are sellers here, so I think there's a good chance it's going to get up here. It's hard to say. There are buyers there. Doesn't look terrible, does it? These bars are getting rather large now, aren't they? There is a failure there. Excuse me a sec. Okay, sorry about that. You've got to be really careful here. 2 legs up a retest, then down for a new low, or it could rocket up. It's so hard to... You've got to be careful here. You may get trapped going long here. This might come down. I'm just going to take a bathroom break. I'll be a quick second. Okay. I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you. It doesn't fit terrible, but there's still a possibility this could come down for a new low. So 73. There are orders down there to go long. are sellers there. So maybe that is valid. See that one, it just turned in it and came down. It looked for a minute like it was going to drop down, but then it's pushed up. So maybe that is valid. It's one of those things there, isn't it? You could, I mean, I've seen traders having it there. I've seen some traders there, and that was the original, wasn't it? Which means we've already had a break in a new low. I think that was probably the best one to leave it, but it's one of those things. You've just got to be so careful. So, channel break, new high. So, are we going to get a second leg up here? It's hard to say. Most of the orders I can see, the stronger orders are down below. But that doesn't mean it can't go up. Yeah, see, Marco took that. The only concern I have, yeah, it's a triple test, but it may trigger and give you a triple test to go short. And it was a fair bit below the EMA as well. So, 1, 2, 3. Still a bit tricky because you got move down, one attempt to go, second attempt. That may come up a little bit, give you a triple test, and then drop. You had that channel, yeah. Because it was only 2 legs and they were quite broad with a correction. I tend to want to give it a little bit more. I want to see it go up a little bit more, really, before I start thinking about maybe, excuse me, a bigger channel up. Because I can still see on Bookmap larger orders down here. So, I mean, that was the original one, I think, wasn't it, to be fair? And then we had the break and it looked like 2 larger legs. I mean, I thought it was going to come down, but they literally just broke below there by a tick or two. And then we had 2 legs up. But all this, the trouble is, it's that sideways. You don't know what it's going to do. You know, we could bounce here. We got 1 leg down. This could drop and come down here for a new low, or it could do and pop up. It's just, I don't like this. It's not your typical type of a break, really. And that long there, triple test, if you like, is below that EMA, and you've got 2 bear bars there. And depending on how you're reading this, 2 broad legs like that, there's a good chance this could come down for a new low. So it's just one of those. Listen to Marco. He said he's playing. Oh, Dan said he was playing both, so possibly going up and possibly going down. So that's kind of how I kind of thought my thought process was, but it's just one of them things, isn't it? See, Marco got in there, but he got out there, so it wasn't much to go up, to be honest with you. He got in there and he was out. Yeah, there. So where was his order? Yeah, it looked like he was taking about 2 points there. So, see, I had nothing down here really. This pullback, I didn't like that bar. I had nothing here. I sometimes you can take them and work, but with such a big move down, it was such a, well, I say big, it wasn't huge, but it was big enough. So we came down, yeah, 46 points, 48 points. I'd expect more than just a little bit of a nudge out and down. And then you're asking yourself, if we kind of have that, you know, is there a wider channel down? And all of a sudden up it goes. But it does look, I can see orders long at 92 here. So for me, there's a good chance we could get a second leg up. Buyers are quite tight up here, sort of around about the 92.5 to 95, which is kind of there, not back at the EMA. So it looks to me like a couple of legs back. We may get a second leg up. So I think there's traders thinking this may decide to go up. It's hard to say. What I would say, certainly could have a couple of legs up, something like that and that, which should take us somewhere up. But we could get this, and then we still may get that move down. It depends. So if we go right from the tops to the bottoms there, we're right at the 50% level now. There's liquidity here, obviously. If we go up to that next level, it's hard to say really, isn't it? I mean, that is a strong move, more or less right down to the lows and lower. This doesn't look nowhere near as strong moving up. CL I'm looking at as well. It's, you know what I mean? It could be this, but could be this channel, but look where this is working in this top T. You never know when it's going to decide to have a pop out. Nothing I can really do there. Same again, nothing there. There's no move left. It's a little bit sideways then. So I've got nothing on here. That I looked at, but the bars were no good. And my concern was if this is the bottom of the channel that were moved, well, you can see I put that there at the bottom, but look how it's working right the way along, or I put it to there. Look how it's working right the way there. And then we have that quick drop out. So nothing on there at the moment. How long have we been going for? It's hour and 55 minutes-ish. Okay, so not too bad. Why is that shut down? So these buy orders down here are starting to feather out. They started bright red, nice and strong, and they're starting to fade out a little bit. I suppose the more this goes up, the more they'll just ditch them orders. Be interesting to see what happens now because we're around about that 50% level. I'm not convinced that it won't come down some more. So if I go from the top there to the bottom there, we're bouncing around this 50% level. So it could still head south. My sort of thought process that it may well do. We got the leg down here with a correction. Breaking yesterday's lows, you may expect some profit taken anyway, but see, you can see I've put that there, those buyers, you can see that it's playing a part right the way back, going back days. It's weird, isn't it? Bounce into it, bounce, 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 bounce into it. Got close to it and we turned up. So you can see it play. Look here as well, right the way along here, you can see it playing a part. So where are we now anyway? It's obviously pushed through there now anyway, but you can see we pushed above it, bounced off the top of it. You can see it playing a part there. We're in it there. So that's irrelevant now. So we have buyers around about the 6.5, which is there. And then sellers around about somewhere around about there. This one here, yeah, yeah. So be interesting to see if this plays a part. Yeah, it's only a small window, unfortunately. I did pay for Bookmap for a month, but I wanted this. I do like having this, but to have this in it, it costs you $100 a month, and then you got to pay $35 for live data. Maybe down the road I'll spend that, but to be honest with you, I don't need up-to-date by the second information. This is plenty for me. Granted, it's not as clear. You know, when you get the software yourself, obviously it's much clearer. But it's good enough. I can see their orders up here. So for me, this price is likely to creep on up. You can see it's working in this little tunnel here, but we've bounced a couple of times, as you can see off VWAP, but this thing is getting sucked up. You can see there's slightly more aggressive buyers there, but these sellers up here. So this channel break to, new high. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when we get up here. Delta Scalper, how you doing, bud? Are you who I think you are? I think you are, aren't you? Yes, you are. How you doing, mate? Pretty sure that's Marlon, isn't it? How you doing, pal? Pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. It is. I think it is. How you doing, buddy? I spoke to you for a month or so. Definitely helps me, Bookmap, though. Definitely. No argument there. Yeah, it's just a bit small here, isn't it? But you can see it. You're bored. I'm glad when you're bored. I'm like the bottom of the barrel. When you're desperate, that's when you come round and say hello. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely moving, isn't it? But I ummed and ahed about that, but I left it in the end. It was just such a small break, and you don't know whether you're going to push up. Did have a few orders up here on Bookmap. Not super strong, but enough just to make me a little bit concerned. But for me, all those bars there are in that little micro. We've got a break. We didn't make a new high. Now often we'll make one or two attempts before we drop down, but that one, but there we go. It's one of them things, isn't it? Depends on how kind of risky you are, whether you take that. I'm kind of super strict at the moment. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. Well, I mean, I was talking with Vlad yesterday on his stream yesterday, and he takes one trade a day over two charts, the CL and this. So he's not finding a super amount anyway. And I was talking to a few others last week on Dan's and Thomas Wade's Discords, and they said it's pretty crappy, pretty quiet. So we hit those orders up there and dropped. So 92.5, there are buyers down there. So sure, I tried opening a CL chart. Doesn't seem to be moving. Does it look like that? It doesn't seem to be moving at the moment. It's a bit slow, this. Let me check. Right, okay. Put it on the 500 tick chart, mate. If it's on the 2000 tick chart, it's probably not going to seem like it's moving. It is moving a little bit, but the 500 tick chart, I've got that on. I was looking at these, but if it is a bigger channel, it's coming away. So I've kind of it's a little bit choppy today, but you are on the 500. I don't know, mate. It's strange. CLO1 26. You got it on 26? You have, yeah. I don't know why. I just try reloading it, see if that makes a difference. It's not moving. Strange. No, I'd maybe reboot it or something, see if that makes a difference. So this was around about, okay, so we're struggling at this 50%. We just popped above it and then dropped below it. So is this now on its way down? This doesn't look like it's moving up strong anyway, and we're halfway and it's already turning. So my gut feeling is, I mean, you could say it may end up being something like that. It's possible, but with what I'm seeing, my belief is it's more likely to go down. Call it an educated guess. So 92.5, which is there on a pullback. So this is moving quite strongly. So you would have to favour it now for a new low. So channel break, clearly cut the pushes to a new high, cleared some liquidity there, literally floating around that 50% level. We had a quick pop up and a strong move down. There are buyers at 85. Not that I would be thinking about buying there, especially with this down. They are disappearing a bit, to be honest with you. 2.5. There are buyers at 2.5. The way this is coming down, my guess is this is going to come down and test these lows. Unless there's any other type of a trend channel there. Well, that doesn't look terrible, but that's a straight channel down there without a break. So I'd expect a break at a new low. So I'd expect it to come below there. So that's a no-brainer for me. So I'm going to get rid of that. That's quite broad. That's why I didn't massively fancy it for a bigger channel up. 82.5. Let me show you what mine is, mate, on my data. Make sure you got the same on your data. Make sure it says that CME US Index Futures ETH. Just make sure you got it set on there. That's what I've got my data set on, so hopefully. Yours isn't rolled over yet, is it, Karina? No. The only reason I rolled over is I noticed Dan put a post on from the CME showing more volume, and he said he was moving over. Marco did, so I tend to just follow the pack. So buyers at 73. Where's that? If it comes down here, surely, really, with what's done, if it comes down here, it's bound to test those lows. I mean, look at that channel down. They don't come down much steeper than that and cleaner than that. There's only one place that's going. So buyers there, absorbed them. You never even knew they were there. 72.5 down here. The next lot. I mean, that is pretty. It's pretty straight down. That's got to be 20 points, isn't it? Oh, and the rest. 26, 25, 26 points straight down. So maybe my thought process of this leg with a correction. We had kind of this, didn't we? We got a big move there, really, haven't we? Same sort of thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then down. So I think there's a good chance this thing's coming straight down. Well, down, not necessarily straight. Yeah, who's your prop firm? Who's your Ninja Trader Plans Market? Who's your prop firm, bud? I think most trade the CL. I'm assuming so. Who's your prop firm, Sean? Apex and yeah, you should be fine. It's one other thing you can try. Just give your computer a bang. That's what I always do that at a last resort. Just give it a thump on the side. Never works, but I always like to try it. Even have a brokerage account. Strange. Your computer may be possessed. You haven't missed nothing today anyway, to be honest with you. So we've cleared liquidity there. So you would think a possible pullback. So we got sellers there at 85 to 82 for a second move down. So between 85 and 82. I prefer a bit higher than that, but I would prefer, yeah, ideally. But we've pushed down below that liquidity, so I think you'd naturally expect a pullback. But how this is looking, it's quite clean today, actually. We've got a channel break, 2 pushes to a new high, 2 attempts to push up. Maybe it's a channel, we have a break and a new high, then a strong move down. You'd have to favour this thing to hit the lows, not in this first move. But certainly, before it goes much higher. Okay, we're in this sell area. Unfortunately, we haven't really got set up as of yet. It's only a first entry, unfortunately, which is a pain in the arse. There's nothing you can do here. It's rubbish. Disco, how you doing, buddy? That's an 8.5, isn't it? FP 2619. FP 2619. How's it going? I'm all right, mate. How are you? Yeah, I wanted a little bit more than that, really. We barely get there and we're dropping. For Portland, the eval with Apex. Miss passing, got 5k, got scared on that. Dropped it, might pull back. Yeah, that's how I tend to trade them. Trouble is, you do blow a lot. Trouble is, I mean, they've got this offer on. I think it finishes tomorrow, so they don't kind of give you too much time, really. So one thing I noticed as well, the last offer, I think you were paying $6. So it'd be interesting to see if you bought one on the last day and passed it the following day, whether you get that still at $6. I don't know, but I didn't particularly like the last one they did. You had to pay a bit more for the eval. Yeah, the Watsits was cheap, but if they only give you so many days to do it, it kind of encourages you to trade it a bit aggressively. And if you fail it, it's quite pricey. This is much better. I don't mind failing a bunch of these, but it's $65 to I think the best offer they've had previously is 90% off and $85. So I much prefer a cheaper evaluation rather than a cheaper PA fee and pay more for the evaluation. So I think it's a good sweet spot where it is. They will charge a new rate, really. Mind you, if you'd have passed a few PAs the night before, the following day you'd have got up and found out you'd have been paying $6 in instead of something else. So you'd have had quite a nice surprise. So I suppose it works out both ways. Okay, channel down. I think there's a fair reasonable chance we know where price is going. But unfortunately, just nothing you can do here. Time in luck down. Mind, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. But they do some good deals. I got to say, Apex. As I say, the last one I didn't fancy so much. You've blown about 12. Yeah, I've been there, mate. Done that. I've blown 1,300 odd. I have. Trouble is, it's great when things are cheap, but you do tend to. I don't know whether you spend more, but you do tend to, when they're cheap, you do trade them more risky. I suppose it's kind of the nature of the way things are. When something's cheap, you pay less attention to it. But absolutely cheap. And I think it's it's an 8. Is it 65? 65, I think, for the 65. I haven't bought them for a while because I've got me full 20 accounts. It's quite nice not to have to spend money for a change. We need a decent pullback. This isn't good enough, really. I'll be surprised if we don't get any profit taken down here. I would like a decent pullback. Unfortunately, we barely broke out before we dropped. We didn't get anywhere near where I wanted to. I had a terrible week last week. I took one trade all week, managed to get 2 points. I thought last week was super quiet. Hoping we get a better week. Mind you, if I get 2 winning trades, I'm okay with that. It still puts me on target for a decent, monthly payment. I must remember as well, trading oil, they have specific news centered around oil as well. I can't just follow the normal CPI, PPI, FOMC type of stuff. I need to pay attention to the separate oil. I got caught out once on that as well. I was trading an evaluation and the thing shot in another direction. So I must remember to keep that in mind. I did check Forex Factory this morning just to check. I don't think there's anything I can put my chart to cover specifically. I forget what it's called and the news they have based on crude oil. I'll find out. I'll be having a few drinkies tonight. It's my anniversary today. 20 years, 21 years, 22 years. Oh, 23 years. Wow. Weiss just posted something. 23 years. Unbelievable. Okay, so this area is playing a part, isn't it? So channel break new low. See if we can get another. We may even get a triple test here. We'll see. Still got big orders down there at 60, which is the lows. The lows of the day. Yeah, new low 70. Not much there. 85 to short there. Can't take that. Need a triple test now, or a failure, or something of something. So there are sellers. Yeah, there we go. It's the MAE rule. MAE. What is that? Have you spelt that wrong, or am I missing something? MAE rule. You might have to give me a bit more information there, but I can't think. Oh yeah. 30% rule, yeah. So, based on $2,600, you can't lose more than $750 without hitting that. To be honest with you, though, you don't really want to be risking 30% of your account anyway. To be honest with you, I know, with the how the numbers work with Apex. Yes, you got $2,600 to trade with. You're not risking $2,600 like you would with your own account. You're risking maybe 1/5%. But if you are really risking that much, 30%, you're overdoing it anyway. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It does keep you. But the one good thing that Apex or all the companies, I don't know, if you do break the rule, they do give you the benefit of the doubt and saying trade for another 8 days. So, I have heard some traders, they'll happily break the rules just to get their accounts up, and then they'll trade them nice for 8 days and get paid. But it's not the best way to do it, really. Channel break, new high. Interesting to go short there. I'm staying out of it purely and simply because we're back at the EMA. The bar's massive. And I don't know whether we're going to, this is played out. Channel break, new low. Channel break, new high. At the moment, it's going up and down. My guess is it's probably going to come down, but look at it. It's 31 ticks. It's not even finished yet. Tick above, tick below. I'm not risking 33 ticks. Not on your Nelly. What's that? 8 points? Not a chance. I'm not risking $400. I'm 20 accounts. That's risking $8,000. I ain't doing that. I don't care how good it is, but you just don't know. Channel break, new high, leg in a leg. You don't know whether we're going to trigger it and push up higher. My guess is probably going to come down for a second leg, but I'm not risking 31. Tick above, tick below. No chance. No chance. It's just mad, that is. $8,000 risk. Yeah, they are big. Yeah, the ATR's been floating around 4.5 all day. I don't mind if it's a quality setup. That isn't. If it's a quality setup, you may try and shave a few points off it by getting in it on a bit of a limit order. But if this is coming down for a second leg, then the buck stops up there. It's probably going to be the top of the tree before we push down for a second leg. But if you get it wrong, that's expensive, that is, and I ain't. It's my anniversary today. I'm going to be miserable if I end up losing $8,000. I'm going to be miserable as hell later. So much easy. Stay out of it. You can guarantee there's no risk of losing a penny. It's just too much to risk, that is, I think. 30 odd points. It's mad. Mad. sound terrible. It doesn't, does it? I think that's a bullshit made-up name to make people feel better at, better at Christmas, I do. Mind you, I think they refer to that as crypto. Crypto's funny lately, isn't it? Got up to, didn't it get up to about $125,000 Bitcoin? I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed this bull market because crypto just hasn't done anywhere near what it's done in the past. I don't know where my app is now. What's Bitcoin? 88,000 at the moment, something like that. But Ethereum's just done nothing, has it? Nothing. I don't know. Is it barely hit all-time highs from the last bull market? It's just done nothing. The only one that's had some kind of a half-decent push is uh, Solana. That went down to $8 at one point, and then I think it hit about 250. So that's done right. Most others haven't really done a great deal. I don't know why. Trouble is, there's that many of them now. Does that spread the money around a bit? Possibly. Can't even find me out now. No, I'm pretty sure it's around 88,000. It was early. It went up to about 92 yesterday. I don't know whether this thing is going to start to move down or not. I don't know. You think Christmas people will tend to take some money out of it at Christmas, won't they, to pay for things? But drop down 86, is it? Yeah. God knows where it's going to go. You can't. I wouldn't want to buy. I think it may just shoot. It may end up. You just never know. 3 months later, it might be 150,000. You never know. But I wouldn't touch it now. I'd wait the Bitcoin to get down to maybe 40. What did it get down to? 15,000 last time, didn't it? Previous bull market was about 68,000. So once it got down to maybe 40 or 50,000, that's not a bad place to start buying it, is it? I've had no luck with it. I made a little bit, but I think overall over the last 4 or 5 years, I think I've lost more than I've made on it, to be honest with you. Crypto sounds easy, and you hear stories about people making money, but the trouble is, as soon as you buy it, for some godforsaken reason, you always end up seeming to drop, and people panic then and sell. Although, these cryptocurrencies do move really quick at times, they can go for a period of 3 or 4 months with just doing nothing. And you might be in a deficit, and that's what people do. They hear all the get rich quick things with cryptocurrency, and they jump in. And if they've not made the money in a week, they're panicking and selling. CL feels like molasses. It does a bit, doesn't it? Sometimes it works really well. I mean, we're clearly just coming down, aren't we, at the moment? But 1 minute it looks like we're losing a bit of momentum. You expect a break. The next minute you have a bit of a drop kind of below this line. Yeah, at least we got the opportunity of a second chart just in case. We double our chances because I've just had nothing lately. I think the ES is just, from a Pat's point of view, depends how you trade, but from the way I trade it, it's had nothing. I did one trade last week. I do think there's a good chance we get down to these lows, but when it does, it is. I mean, I think really, if this pushes down to its lows, my gut feeling is that as high as it's going to go on this start of a second leg, if that's what it is, of course. 84. So there's sellers at 84 above this bar here. So I still think there's a good chance it's going to come down. But at the moment, I've learnt the hard way. Regardless of whether you know it's coming down, if you haven't got an entry, you just can't enter. You're going to get chopped up way more than you're not. I don't think it was a terrible entry. It was just a 31 tick bar. And that's just a no-no. Tick above, tick below 8 points. That's a lot to risk. Can't take that bar's naff. As a lower high, I don't think it's gone too far for a lower high, but I'd like to be trapping a bull here, a bull bar here, and then have that more bearish, but it's just it's a little bit congested there, so you just don't know what's going to happen. That bearish bar has been triggered by a tick, and look where it's going. On this bar, there's a second entry long, so we got a leg up there with the break. Second entry long, maybe something like that. So where's that going? Maybe up here. I'll be surprised if it gets up that high. I can see sellers at a bunch of sellers at there. So I'll be surprised if it gets that high. If it gets that high, then I don't think this is. I think it's going to be a lot harder to go down. So I would have got my profit there, possibly, depending on where you get in. Yeah, I would have done. It's just too risky. Okay, we're clearly getting a little bit of sideways here. So I can see a bunch of orders around this 85, which is there. So maybe this would be a fail breakout to push down. I'm not sure I like what I'm seeing at the moment. Let me just see if this may be a bit of a range going on here. Let me have a look. It could be. So do I really want to go short? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's probably a little bit too early to do that. Uh, You may argue a little triple test, but I think that's pushing my luck a bit there. These bars are getting large, aren't they? You may say triple test. I mean, I think price is likely to go down and test this, but it's not. They're not making it easy. 2, 3. We've broken above all this, so I think there's a good chance it's coming down, but this is just too choppy to get in. I just don't like the bar. 19, tick above, tick below. I'm not risking 21 ticks on that crap. See these orders down there, these big orders down here? My experience is when I see these, a lot of these get yanked, but that will try and pull price down to there. How many orders are there? It's disappeared already. Already been yanked. So about 79. There are buyers at 79. Funnily enough, a little bit lower, I think. There are buyers here. Look where those buyers are. One tick below that bearish bar there. See them buyers there? So 1, 2, 3. If you're shorting that, there's buyers one tick below, right where you're entering, and there's sellers up here. So is that going to trigger that bear bar and push up? We'll see. That'd be interesting. So yeah, it's around about there. Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see this is, you can see sellers right above here, buyers right below here, and it's just literally zigzagging up and down here. Looks a bit more obvious on Bookmap, but it is just chopping. It's clear on here, it's just chopping around. So do I still think this is coming down? Can't sell here either. Big orders there. It's just clearly congested, so I just can't do nothing. It looks even more crap on the left bar. There's no way in God's earth I'd enter on the left bar, so I'm not doing nothing here. So, if you enter the bull bar, triggered you, stopped you out. Now, where's it going? So, the bear bar, it's not brilliant. Definitely closed in the lower third here. That's triggered as well as stopping that bull bar out. Where's this going? You just can't do nothing here. It's way too dangerous. Not pretty, is it? Okay, so there's a higher low there. Let's see if that triggers. I'm not taking anything in here. It's just way too choppy. Super risky. Could do anything. Bought there. Not that you would. Leg up. If you're thinking about another leg up, pushes up, trigger you, comes down, stops you out by 1 tick. Triggers the bear bar, pushes up. I mean, it looks awful on this part, on this chart. At least it's a little bit cleaner, but look how wicked it is on my left chart. Okay, I think I'm done for the day. It's my anniversary now anyway, so I'm going to go and have a little drink with my wife and some dinner. So I'm going to leave you folks to it. Not an easy day today, but hopefully it's still early yet. Hopefully now I'm trading this other chart as well, this CL chart. It may hopefully produce something this week. So I'm going to leave you folks to it. So best of luck if you keep trading. Apart from that, have a great evening. Thank you. Have a great evening. Stay safe, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.